Welcome back to the channel. This is my Savannah monitor. He's coming out of his hide, which I've explained in other videos. This is just a cheap, really thin PVC board that I painted to match it. It's safe and stuff, and yeah, it's the same stuff I use for the OSB. That pond sealant that you can get at Home Depot. But yeah, he can go the whole length of there. So yeah, he can literally, he has that whole height to go under. Oh, now he wants to come out. And then I got two hides under there to kind of give him, feel a little more secure. But he doesn't really use them. He did at first, so I might take one out. And then I got floor tile. So I made this out of plywood. Waterproof painted it with the pond sealant. And then originally it was supposed to go on where that PVC board is. That's where the plywood was supposed to go. And that was going to be his basking area. But then I realized even with the Arcadia 14%, it had to be like a minimum of 2 feet away from his basking spot. So I had to hire it. So I ended up taking the plywood and making like a frame for it and making legs for it. So now, which I like better because he can kind of climb up there and get closer to the heat, and he has a height under there, a height under there. So he's got more options. So he can go all the way under. He can kind of go mid-level, and then he can bask. But then I put floor tile, which that wasn't getting hot enough for his hot spot. So I ended up using pavers. Each of them are foot or 12 inches by 12 inches. So I ended up doing that. I think I want to put something there too to file his nails down a little bit more. But yeah, I'm still kind of adding and doing stuff to it. So then I got my fan, which I shut off because for the video, which I have that set for 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. I believe, to kind of cool it down and so it doesn't get so like stagnant in here. And then that's the side ventilation. I wish I would have made them a little bit bigger. I regret that. But I did that on each side. And then I got 3 Arcadia 100-watt flood lamps. I might actually add my 150-watt bulb tomorrow and try that out. Because I got 150-watt that floods too. Because this basking platform's so big, so he kind of chooses temperature gradient anyway. So that's why I made it this. So it's about 2 feet wide by probably 46.5 inches, I think it was. So it kind of gives him like he can choose his spots a little bit more. But I'd like to get pavers to kind of fit in there, but I can't get ones that, because like how this is made, I cut the tile to fit that 1x2 over there. So they don't quite, so I can't really quite fit one that's about a foot where this is. Well, I could on this side, I guess, but I kind of want them even because I'm OCD like that. Just so, like, he can file his nails a little bit more. There's this little dog Kong that he likes to play with, which I have a video on my shorts of him actually draining it through this whole tube. yeah, so I got 3 100-watt flood lamps. I like to do 3, even though I could probably get away with 2 150-watt to do it, but I like to have 3 because, I mean, then it's less they're less likely to get burnt, and I don't know how big he's actually going to get. So I say the more bulbs, the better for monitors, especially when they're running like 130 degrees or more. Like, I definitely think you should do flood lamps and multiple of them. Like, I don't think one will not cut it. 2, you could probably get away with 2, and I could have probably got away with 2, but I was like, screw it, I'd rather just do 3 instead. Because then it spreads the heat out more and he has more temperature gradients. Which, surprisingly, the hottest area in here is between the Arcadia UVB bulb, which is a 14% desert, and the bulbs. I thought it'd be directly under the middle bulb would be the hottest spot, but I was wrong. And then I got my my hydrometer slash temperature gauger, but reader, but I need to change the batteries. But he'll kind of. I'm gonna wait till he's sleeping tonight, and I'll do that. And then I got the probe for his bulb, so if it gets too hot, they'll shut off. Because Wisconsin, the temperatures freaking fluctuate so much, like especially in the spring and fall, and like winter. Like one day it'll be like 70 degrees, and the next day it'll be like freaking below 30. Like that's how Wisconsin works. It's annoying. So yeah, so it fluctuates quite a bit. So I just like to have thermostats on all my heating systems because it doesn't hurt. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I probably don't need them, but I prefer to have them. This is a safety measure. And I got this from Sweeter Heater. These are like normally for chickens. Radiant heat panels, but it works the same. It was like, I believe this is 150 watts. And it was like $158, which isn't bad considering. I freaking almost paid that much for my 80-watt radiant heat panel for my bulb python. So, but they might. I don't think they can. I don't think it's like the reptile ones where like they could touch them and not get burnt. Like that's the only thing with the reptile ones. I think you can. Yeah, you can. Oh yeah, you can get burnt on these, but he's not gonna climb on there or reach up there, so it's not gonna matter anyways. So, like for my ball python or something that climb and reach it, no way I will use this. But then I got the probe there, which I got a mess up here right now because I just been organizing a lot and moving stuff around. But this is nice because I can choose his temperatures for night, and I can do a nighttime drop for his radiant heat panel. So during the day I have it set at 86, and then at night I have it set at 76. So it's one less heating source I have to put in there. So that's really nice. And then plus with the OSB I used, it insulates this pretty well actually, heat-wise. But yeah, I have this UVB connected to my Arcadia Jungle Lawns. These are both 34 inches. the UVB and the Jungle Dawn. And then that's one of my 22 inches, I believe, is what those are, yeah. So I use those for, yeah, I just had an extra one, so. Plus, I kind of want a little bit shadier over there, so I thought I'd use a smaller one. Plus, I don't really see the need of buying another bigger one. So, that's nice. Those are all plugged into one thing, in one timer, so that's really nice. Which, I have hit, these are set for 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then the UVB and the LEDs are set for like, I believe like 6:30 or 7 o'clock. I don't remember. But I have them set a little bit after, and they shut off a little bit before the basking bulbs to kind of mimic the sun a little bit. Because I got the smart plugs now for timers, which I like a lot better. Yeah, my glass is really freaking dirty because of him. I gotta clean that tonight. They're just so big, I haven't had time. Ugh. To do that, which I'm probably gonna do that tonight, actually. Then these ones actually have a track, and they roll on. They actually have rollers instead of just that glass freaking sliding. They actually have like wheels that roll on top of here, so that's actually really nice. So these actually go really smooth because of that. So that was actually my dad's idea. I was just gonna do the normal sliding glass doors like everyone, but I definitely prefer the ones with the freaking wheels and tracks. Like, these move so smooth. Plus, if they get dirty, it's sliding on here anyway, so I can kind of get away with, especially with the Savannah monitor and how much dirt they drag and stuff, and they come out and stuff. It's totally worth it. For like a display animal, it's not as big of a deal because they're not coming out and dragging dirt. So then I got this freaking wood that I got at Expo. It was always too big for all my other enclosures. I thought it would work for my green-bellied keeleds. It was a little too big for the enclosure and how I wanted to do it. So I thought that it would be perfect for this. It kind of gives them a little climbing spot to get the basking spot. Even though he'll go over there and do a pull-up. And he'll do that here too. Even though I have a ramp for him, he likes to pull himself up instead. Then that's just a patio end table. Got that for $12 at Fleet Farm, which I think Fleet Farm's only in Wisconsin, so you're yeah. But yeah, I just used a freaking patio end table I got for $12. You can get them really cheap, probably at Home Depot and other hardware stores. But I did that and buried it a little bit, so he can kind of go under there as a height too. And then one of those PetSmart ones, which these things are freaking so overpriced, like $36 for one of these. I got one for my ball python too. I originally stole it from her for him, but I felt bad, so I got her one too. I replaced her one. But he actually doesn't use it that much. He does a little bit, but not as much as you'd think. And then I tried to put a height over here, and he never used it. So I feel like it's kind of a waste to have a height over here. Plus, it's pretty cool down there, and he can and he's got heights over there, so he kind of chooses temperature gradient like that. And then I got some snake plants, which he's never destroyed, so those have actually, I've had these since I've had them, so I've almost had these with him for like a year. I got them in September, and it's June. Yeah. So not quite a year, but still, they've been in every enclosure and he hasn't destroyed them. But yeah, I've done those. Then I got these drain tiles. I don't know why they call these drain tiles. That's a dumb name for a tube. I know what they do, but still, I kind of get why, but still, I don't know why they're called tiles. Dumb name. But yeah, he likes using this too. He'll crawl through it and tunnel. I didn't want to bury it because he actually likes to be able to see through these holes. So plus I could kind of keep an eye on him more so if he's in there, or that I know he's in there. But yeah, he likes to actually be able to see out of these, so that's why I kind of left it out in the open. And then that PVC, it's just a three-way, so it goes this way, it's a T, so like there's a hole there, and a hole that tunnels in for him. And I had it buried, but he dug it up and whatever, it works. So I'm not gonna fix what's not broken. Yeah, he doesn't really. He goes under there every once in a while, but yeah, I kind of gave that to him to have another hide. That's just a rock for him to kind of climb on to get in there, which he actually sits on the filter. Yeah, this was a kind of a pain in the butt to try to figure out how I wanted to do this, because I needed a filter where he couldn't get at the filter pads easily. Because I could see just using one of those normal ones that you just set in there, those cheap $10 ones, which I have a bunch of those pumps, but I could see him just destroying them and getting into them. Plus the cords aren't long enough to get through that hole to the plug-in. And then yeah, I just use a cat litter box, but I bought these little pond mini pond troughs that I might just use instead and not have a filter in there, because I bought 3 of them, so I could just dump it out, replace it right away, and I don't have to clean it, like be rushed to clean it right away. So I might do that, because I'm kind of sick of cleaning filter pads and shit, which I bought like another one of these or something similar, but I don't know if I want to deal with the filtration, because he doesn't really go in his water dish that much. Even when I had a water dish that he had, because like when he goes to the bathroom, he actually goes in that corner. Like he actually doesn't go in his water dish. He never has. So he doesn't really dirty his water dish. He never really goes in it. He never really has gone in his water dishes. Even when they were smaller, lower, and he could fit in them, he just never had interest. So I might just switch to those, because that, or I could at least use those when I'm cleaning the filter. There, I'm thinking of just cycling and putting some little guppies in there or something, and like aquarium plants, and have it cycled. I'm not sure yet, but I have a little ficus tree clipping, which it's already not doing good, so that's not going to make it. But even if it dies, it's got leaves and the leaf litter. Oh yeah, I've been using my ficus trees now, and my green-bellied keels. I've been clipping them. Instead of buying leaf litter, I just throw the clippings in the enclosures and let them drop instead. And just use that as leaf litter instead of buying it, you know. And I'm not getting it from outside. I had to boil it because I know where it's coming from. So, yeah, I'm like, I might as well, instead of throwing them out, I might as well reuse them, repurpose them, you know. And then that's a hydrometer. I was gonna put misters in here. But the problem is when I had that in his 4x2x2. Every time I'd open the door, they'd go off. So then it'd be too humid once I shut the doors. Plus the humidity actually stayed like it's 64 right now with the door, or no, it's 75 right now. No, it's 75 degrees, 64% humidity, and that's with the door open. So like when I shut it, it's gonna spike up even more. So yeah, I just gotta dump his water dish in a little bit every once in a while, and it spikes back up. So that's kind of what I do in it. Like with this, since I don't have an open top and I have ventilation on the sides, the heat and humidity doesn't escape as easily. I don't know. Somebody argued with that with me when I first put them in as 4x2x2. The EcoFlex, I had because winters get really really dry here for some reason. But then our summers are really humid. But she's actually quite a bit bigger of a channel than me or him. But yeah, I put aluminum foil tape, and she's like, "Why are you doing that? You should cover up the side hole or side vents instead." And it's like, why? That literally makes no sense. That's why they're there for ventilation. Like, heat and humidity rises, not yeah, it's better to close off the top and have side ventilation instead of an open top. That literally then I might as well just put them in an aquarium at that point, Same thing if you're just gonna freaking close off the side ventilations. Like, that literally made no sense. Yeah, those EcoFlexes suck. Like, well, for bearded dragons, they're probably good in, like, species that don't need as much humidity. They're good for, I feel like, or if you live in, like, if you live in a very humid area, like, down south, where it's more humid, then, yeah, then EcoFlexes are alright, but I don't know. I don't care for them. I hate open tops in general. Like, I do all humid species because I like to do bioactive. I mean, these guys are, I wouldn't say they're humid. They're kind of semi-humid slash arid. So, yeah, because you really want the humidity to be like, you don't want it to be lower than 65 on the cool side or the humid side. And that's kind of like his cool slash humid height as well. So he gets his humidity and stuff in there when he needs. So he has a humid height under there. So I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone. And like bioactive, like people are saying you can't do them. Oh, look at that. I have two snake plants that he has not even destroyed. Yeah, he's destroyed the grass, but that's because he can walk directly on top of it. Which, whatever. I mean, if you do bioactive, you're going to have to lose, like, with these, like, with him and my ball python, you're going to lose plants. Like, you're going to have to get over that. What do you do to destroy a plant? You put another one, you try a different one. And it's about placement. Plus, since I give him, like, climbing opportunities, same with my ball python, her enclosure is 5 feet long by 3 feet tall by 2 feet deep. And I have a freaking spider plant that she has not even crushed. I mean, she crushed it a little bit, but it's still doing pretty damn well. Not significantly to destroy it. Yeah, my friend pointed that out. Shout out to Bailey. But, yeah, because we give them so I give my ball python climbing opportunities. I give him climbing opportunities. So they don't have to directly, like, if they're in an enclosure that's only 2 feet tall and they have no way of getting around the plants, of course they're going to crush them. Like, because they don't really have anywhere else to go. But like he has so many opportunities to not crush them that yeah. Plus it's placement. Plus like snake plants are durable. So and I don't really care if I lose them. I have so many plants that are overgrown that I do clippings and stuff. So I have an abundance of plants. So I'm not even worried if he destroys them. Plus if he destroys them, it's isopod food. So it doesn't really matter to me. So then I got him a little cat hut, which I got one of those like heating pads that people use for like grow tents for plants to set on. That and it's got a thermostat. So he's not directly sitting on it. Plus it has a thermostat. So he can kind of go in there. But I might end up making him a basking area out here. I just gotta move some stuff around and stuff. But yeah, I might end up putting a basking area so he can actually chill out here and bask. I see a guy do that, and I'm like, that's a good idea. I just got to get my basement organized, and I had to move a bunch of stuff, and yeah, I'm getting a roommate, so I had to move all my stuff out of my upstairs so he can move in. So it's just been kind of a cluster. So yeah, I think I just need to get a bigger house. So plus I'm getting a shed, so hopefully that'll help me to be able to free up some more space in my house. Because then I can move like my table saws and all that in my garage or in the shed. So I'll have a little bit more room for storage as well. Plus I should sell some of my aquariums and like enclosures that I don't use. Because like I have the Thrive ones. The Thrive 18 by 18 by 24, and I freaking hate them. Like I absolutely despise them. But I'm keeping it just as a backup because I have a male and female green belly keeled, so I'm kind of keeping it as a backup to just in case they do have babies. But yeah, I don't really care for those. I hate them. Like I hate the top mesh. Like I think they're just garbage. Like personally, so I'll probably end up selling it eventually. I kind of want to just build all mine either out of PVC or plywood and make them the size I want. Because I freaking hate open tops. Like, I'm so sick of them. Like, it's just, ugh. I've had enough with open tops and glass. Like, I think they're garbage. Personally. Like, for a 12 by 12 by 18, I don't mind glass. Or a 12 by 12 by 24. Like, if you want to do water features and paludariums, yeah, then stick with the glass. But, yeah, I definitely prefer Exoterra over Thrive. Like, their products are freaking garbage. Like, I use a few of their products, but very rarely. I think I, like, a cricket duster I use from Thrive, because they're cricket dusters, so whatever. Like, just in, like, cheap shit like that. Like, little feeding dishes for my smaller lizards. But, yeah, I'm not a fan of Thrive in general. I think their products are kind of garbage. Arcadia, on the other hand, they have really good products, especially like for their heating and lighting. I definitely stick to Arcadia. Like when it comes to UVB and like LED and heat bulbs, heating source stuff, I think Arcadia is definitely the best. Like hands down. And he's probably, yeah, he's just basking. He'll probably come out in a little bit, but I want to let him kind of bask a little bit and thermoregulate a little bit more before I get him to come out. Because I just fed him pretty good. Yeah, so I fed him a bunch of dubia roaches today. And then a few lobster roaches, which I freaking hate lobster roaches. Like, you think crickets are bad? Like, there's a guy that'll sell them like 3,000 of them for like $120. And I thought they're dubia roaches. I didn't even pay like attention to the ad. And I met them, I found out they're lobster roaches. And oh my god, people bitch about crickets. I think I'd deal with crickets any day of the week over lobster roaches. Like, they're so durable and they can climb on anything. Like, they're like cockroaches where they can climb on the smoothest surfaces and scale walls. The only thing that keeps them in is Vaseline. So yeah, I'm not a fan of them. So I'm trying to burn them up, which I've been using the smaller ones for my keeled, so it works out, I guess. But I just don't care for them. They're dirty and just pain in the butt. Yeah, I'd rather deal with crickets and I actually don't mind crickets. Like, a lot of people hate on them, but I don't know. I think crickets are easier to catch. You like, especially cricket keepers, freaking easy. Yeah, they get loose every once in a while, and I find them around my house. But whatever, it comes with the territory. But they don't make it too long in the house anyway, so like, I'm not really worried. And I'm kind of going on a half an hour tangent about other stuff besides my Savannah monitor. But then I got a Vision Sun fan in there for them, which, like I said, goes between, I think, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So the air doesn't stay stagnant, but it doesn't have to run constantly. So yeah, that's just his little setup. So this is a 8 by 4 by 4, which I'm never using OSB again either. But I didn't have a truck at the time, and PVC boards are like $100 a piece. So I didn't want to have to buy them all at once. So I ended up just building one on OSB because I had a truck. My dad had his truck at the time, so I just bought all the OSB at once. So that's why I ended up using OSB. Plus, like, if I ever decide to move, plus just I didn't want to spend a lot of money on PVC board because it's not gonna fit. I ain't getting that out that door. That door's not even remotely wide enough. So I wanted to do something cheaper where I could I want to do something cheaper, so if I decide to move to a bigger house, I don't feel bad for destroying this. You know, because yeah, if I move out, I'm basically gonna have to destroy this thing. Because yeah, it ain't getting out that door. Plus, it's too heavy. Like, there's no way. So I'd rather be more in a permanent area before I'd even consider doing like building a big PVC enclosure like that. Because I didn't really want to spend the money, and then if I move or something, I had to take it apart, and yeah, that'd be a pain in the butt. When I could just take it apart, throw it in a fire pit, and then if I move, I can temporarily do a grow tent, and then build them a PVC one. I'll probably just buy one because I don't really feel like building one again. Like, this was a lot of work. But yeah, I'll probably keep the platform. And like the door and the tracks I'll probably keep if I decide to move. Yeah, because I like these doors. So I'll probably keep that in the tracks. And then just if I build one on PVC. which would be nice because it'd be a lot less work. I don't know, by the time I freaking spent on it, yeah, because then I don't have to paint it, like waterproof paint it, and use pond sealant. I just got to silicone the seams and stuff really good. So, yeah. I'm kind of going on a tangent here. Sorry, guys. I know it's a 35-minute video. But yeah, he's going under there now. He'll go under there for a couple minutes. Then he'll pop back out. Probably come out here. Or just pop his head out and watch me. I don't know. But yeah, he's kind of goofy in that sense. So yeah, he'll chill under there for a couple minutes and then he'll pop back out. He kind of gets the zoomies. But yeah. And then I know the bottom board is a 2x12. So I don't know. It's probably like 14 inches, I bet, of almost 14 inches of substrate on this side. But I probably did a little overkill because I thought a lot of people like 2 feet of substrate. I think if you do a foot, you'll be fine. Because like his platform is that underneath is a foot tall. So, and probably a little less. So I think if you did a foot, you'd be fine, to be quite honest, of substrate. But I definitely recommend going bioactive with like 70% organic topsoil and 30% sand because they really like to dig. Plus, all I gotta do is when he goes to the bathroom, I just gotta pick that up, and then I don't have to worry about like getting the remains, like what I miss, like because the isopods will take care of that. Which I'm kind of getting annoyed because he's learning to hunt the isopods now. Like he knows if he moves it, if he flips that tunnel, moves that tunnel a little bit, that there's isopods under there, and he'll actually eat them. So, I mean, I got a good population. Plus, I have a snake rack that I use for isopod breeding and dubia roaches. Yeah, so that's what I use my snake rack for. Is bugs. Well, technically they're not bugs, but they're more related to shrimp. But yeah, I'm guessing he's about a little over 2 feet because that platform's about 2 feet because each paver is a foot by foot. And so I'd say he's between 2 to 2.5 feet. I think he's a little under 2.5. I can't get a tape measure because he thinks it's a toy. Because he has an obsession with shiny things. So eventually I can get a measurement, but yeah, he's probably a little over 2.5 feet. I think it's a male. I thought it was a female, then a male, then I thought it was a female again, but I'm thinking he's a male because he kind of showed me his stuff. But I guess females can do that too. But just the way his nose is kind of shaped, like it's starting to kind of round like the males, so I'm starting, and just the way he's growing, I think he's a male. But time will tell. You can't really tell, I guess, until like they're a year and a half to 2, so yeah. So like for his diet, like when I have to go back to work and do, because I do swing shift, so I'm on days it's a little harder to feed everyone in the morning when I'm in a rush. So before I go back on I'll do a 4, like basically probably 4 12s in a row stretch, which I'll do Wednesday through Saturday, and then I'll feed them heavy. I'll give them like 2 mice or like chicken, and then I'll feed them really heavy, and then I'll fast them for like 2 days. And he's not obese, so like he looks a little chubby because he just ate, but yeah, it's not fat, so it's working. So people that are like insects only, I don't believe that. I think it's good to mix in meats a little bit. I think most of their diet should be insects. Yes, like I think maybe so. Like basically like once or twice a month, he'll get like meats and stuff. But yeah, I'll add it as a treat. Plus, he's a baby, still a baby. He's not even a year, so he's still growing. So like yeah, if that's only their diet, I think that's horrible. If it's a good like even half, I still think insects should be like 90% of their diet or like 95% of their diet. So that's how I do it. I don't know. You got the people that are like insects only. I think they just want to sound like know-it-alls. To be quite honest, I think it's good to mix. I think it's good to mix like stuff in. Like I want to get snails for them, and I'd like to try locusts and like like little fish maybe. Just every once in a while, kind of mix other stuff in. I think it's good to mix it in because you gotta think they're scavengers and they live in Africa, so you can't tell me that they don't that that a scavenger like that only eats insects. I mean, they probably do because they dig a lot and they probably eat insects a lot, but at the same time, you can't tell me that they don't like eat like a good majority of mice and like small birds in the wild either, because they're scavengers, so they kind of eat whatever they can get. And if they're in the ground digging and stuff, they're probably gonna run into mice a lot. And I don't think they're gonna be like, nope, I only eat insects only. you know. So I think the insects only like 100% of their diet is a bunch of crock of shit in my opinion. Sorry guys, but I mean I don't think it's bad. I guess it's not gonna hurt them if you do. It's better to do insects only than to feed them like meats and stuff like 50% of the time. Yeah, for sure. But I also think it's good to mix it in a little bit, like to give them a little variety, like because they're scavengers, so they kind of eat like they eat whatever they can. So I think it's good. And then when I feed them stuff like that, I just fast them for a day or two. Like I usually like I end up usually fasting them probably 2 days in a row if I feed them like something like that. Like I'll feed them really heavy and then I'll fast them for 2 days because I'm at work for 4 12s in a row. So it's kind of a pain in the butt to kind of prepare a bunch of dubia roaches right away in the morning. And I like to crush their heads because the Animal One guy, he does that because they don't chew their food, so they can actually crawl up their stomach and crawl their mouth if you don't crush the heads. So I actually crush their heads now just because of that. So another reason, yeah. So to do that in the morning and then try to get ready for work every day. So it kind of gives me a little leeway. So if I miss a day of feeding or two, it's not going to hurt because I fed him heavy. So yeah, I don't know. It's been working. He's in good shape. He's lean. Like, he's not obese. Like, so it's working. Now my goal is just to get him on a harness outside, which we're getting there. But I'd like to, yeah. So that's my goal by the end of the summer is to be able to take him outside on a harness. But I'm, yeah. Since I upgraded him, I'm just starting to be able to handle him again. Like anytime I upgrade him, he kind of like gets skittish and wants nothing to do with me for like a week or like a couple weeks, and then once he's adjusted, he does good. Then he's fine again. So now that he's kind of fully adjusted to this new enclosure and he knows every nook and cranny and where to hide and stuff and feels more secure, I can actually handle him a little bit more. So yeah, that's kind of my little rant. So yeah, I just want to do a little update in my opinions on Savannah monitors. Like, yeah, a lot of people get them, and I hate seeing them in aquariums. Like, that drives me nuts. So, I don't know. I like giving them substrate because they actually like to dig and stuff. I get it if people are like letting them out a lot. You could probably go smaller enclosure, but I work a lot of 12-hour swings, so I'm not home all the time. So there's like a stretch where I won't be able to like see them because I go to work for 6 a.m. By the time I get home, I get done at 6 p.m. He's already in bed. So yeah, so there's a stretch I don't get to deal with them. But then when I'm at night, I get done at 6 a.m. So I actually get to work with them and handle them. He'll be up, and I get to feed him and kind of just chill here. I got a little bed down here, a little gated area, TV up there. I'll kind of chill, feed them, and that's how I kind of shut down for the day after work on night. So I mean, I get to work with them a good majority, but there's like a week of the month, like 4 days of the month I don't really get to see them and work with them. So that's why I like having a bigger enclosure for them. And who knows, maybe I'll upgrade them to a 10-foot enclosure someday. But we'll see how much he grows and stuff and kind of go from there. I think he's going to be about the 3-foot range, maybe a little over. That's my guess. But I don't know because this is my first monitor ever. So, because people ask me how big he's going to get, and I'm like, I have no clue. Yeah, because I seen one that was 4'5", Zeus, which I wish that guy would update because I want to see his. I want to see. Yeah, he uploaded one video of his Savannah monitor that's 4'5", and then he hasn't uploaded any videos since. Like he uploaded like 3 videos, I think. Which he actually seemed like he knew what he was doing, and like he had potential to be a really, really good channel. And then I don't know, he just posted 3 videos, and it's like, oh, we're just getting started, and then just kind of shut everything down. But if you need ideas to like build enclosures, I kind of so the OSB idea I actually got from Serpa Design, and yeah, I got from Serpa Design. He built one, except he did like a 6-foot one on the bottom, and then 3 2x2x2s on top, I believe. So I think his bottom one was a 6x3 tall by 2 deep, and then the 3 top ones were 2x2x2s, and they're all like on one thing, and he could wheel it around. Which, with the amount of substrate I have in here, there's no freaking way I could put wheels on here and have this be stable. Which, I took that pink insulation, like that hard stuff, and I put that underneath on the floor. I bought an 8x4 sheet. So I put that on the floor, and then I set this on top. So that's what kind of insulates it, and so it's not directly sitting on a cold floor. And with the OSB, it insulates it very well, but I thought I'd give it a little more insulation on the bottom. Which for the bottom I painted, I used dry lock paint because I had some left over and I didn't want to waste my pond shield on the bottom. Because I just needed to seal on the inside, so I just used dry lock on the bottom. I had a bunch of it, and I wanted to use it up before it got bad, so that's what I did for the like underneath the enclosure. But yeah, I think that's all I got for today. And then I'm gonna probably clean this glass tonight when he's sleeping. It's just I haven't had an opportunity. So, alright. Peace out. Actually, I gotta add one more thing. So, Sorry about that. So yeah, I got that from Serpa Design. I'm not gonna piece out yet. I got 2 more things to add. So yeah, I got that from Serpa Design, that idea. And then Brad's Bioactive is a really good channel too. So there's 2. So Serpa Design's really good. Like if you want to do stuff really, really cheap and good, Serpa Design's a really good one. Otherwise, Brad's Bioactive, he's really freaking good. But like the way he builds his enclosures are amazing. So like he's so they're both just as good, I think. They just have different styles. So like I kind of take a little bit from each of those guys. So yeah, but Brad's Bioactive is a really good channel. Like I definitely like if you want like one of the best looking enclosures, hands down Brad's Bioactive. But Serpa Design's really good too. He just has a different. They both are good, and I think they're just as good. It's just that they have different styles of doing things. So yeah, like it all depends, but yeah, like, and there's a lot of things that Serpa Design's better at. Like he's definitely better with like aquatic stuff too. Like he does a lot more fish and turtles, and so it all depends. And like you take a little bit each from both of them. Like they're both really good. It's just you just gotta watch them and see what fits your lifestyle more, what's more obtainable, and kind of like, and like I take a little bit each from both those guys when I make stuff. Like when I make enclosures and stuff, I I kind of mix it in a little bit. So I've learned bits and pieces from both guys. So I think they're both good to watch, and you just kind of see, oh, I like this from Durable Design, I like this from Brad's Bioactive. But those would be the 2 channels I would suggest if you're gonna build an enclosure. Like those guys are just really good. So, and they break it. I mean, there's other guys that make enclosures well and they post them on YouTube, but these 2 guys are the best at breaking it down step by step so any idiot can do it, basically. Like any idiot like me. So, yeah. Check out those 2 channels. I'll see if I can link them in my description. So, their channels. So, alright. Now I'm out. Sorry for the almost hour long video.